Welcome to another edition of the Insider Mailbag. I'm Jared Johnson, and I have some really good questions from inside the Red Raiders subscribers, so I'm going to dive right into them. First one comes from TTU Braves Rock, who wants to know, from what is known, who is the highest paid player in Texas Tech athletics? I don't know for sure who the highest paid player is. I would think Taj Brooks would be either a top or among the top highest paid players at Texas Tech currently right now. He is the dude in Texas Tech athletics. I even said on the radio earlier today that if there was a face of Texas Tech athletics right now at this second who is currently playing, it's got to be Taj Brooks. Don't get me wrong, there's good athletes in every sport, but it's the biggest sport, most popular sport, and he's an all Big 12 performer, one of the leading returning rushers in the country, and just a terrific all-around student athlete for Texas Tech. I do think he's up there. I think he's up there with several of the players on the basketball team. Kerwin Walton has had a good NIL deal in the past. Pop Isaacs has to be up there. I don't know what Warren Washington, Darian Williams, those kind of guys, Joe Toussaint, all received exactly. So I would say Taj and several guys on the basketball team are up there in terms of from what I know right now. Next question comes from Nas Raider, who wants me to rate the job as a first-year head coach for Coach Grant McCasland versus recent men's basketball coaches in first year and some recent first-year football coaches. Yeah, well, Chris Beard didn't go to the tournament his first year, but obviously he had a lot of success. Mark Adams had a great season. They made it all the way to the Big 12 championship game. Were very competitive during the regular season. They went undefeated at home. They swept Texas. Chris Beard returned and all of that. Made it to the Sweet 16 where they lost to Duke in San Francisco. I was there for that game, and they played well, but just Duke shot better, and that was the end of the season. But of course, the second season was a disaster for Mark Adams, and now Graham McCasland's here, and he's had a terrific first year. I think all the adversity on and off the court, a lot of injuries. Pop Isaac's ordeal, which I'm going to briefly talk about here in a little bit. But then just coming in as a first-year head coach, he came in a little later, I guess, because he took UNT to a NIT championship, and but still put a great team together. I think the most impressive thing, there's two things: the resiliency, but also Texas Tech has had to adjust to a number of injuries, whether it be Devin Cambridge, Warren Washington, Darian Williams got hurt in the quarterfinals of the Big 12 tournament, even though he came back. And the team just adjusts and plays a little differently. But it's not just that they adjust, but they are effective and they win, regardless of it seems like who goes down, what kind of drama they have, the Kyron Lindsey drama. There's just been a lot. But they persevere, they're resilient, they overcome, they adjust, and they still win. So great coaching job by Grant McCasland compared to some coaches. Matt Wells wasn't great his first year, especially. Joey McGuire was pretty dang good his first season. But I don't know. I would say this might be better considering what McCasland's inherited. But both coaches did very well in their first season. And where I'm at right now, and they haven't played Houston when I'm filming this in the Big 12 championship game, but it's mission accomplished on first season. They're going to the tournament. I know everybody wants them to go deep, and I get that. But even if they get knocked down in the first round, which I know people don't want, it's still been a very successful first season under Graham McCasland at Texas Tech, and I'm very excited about the future. So I would say McCasland's right up there with Mark Adams' first season, but right up there with amongst the best of anybody I can mention here recently. Jay Luke Ray wants to know, what is the deal with Lindsey? Yeah, Coach McCasland said the guys that are going to make a commitment to play defense, play hard, are going to be on the team and are going to play. The guys who aren't will not. Of course, I've heard some other rumors, but nothing substantiated, nothing I'm ready to report on a video like this for sure. But the bottom line is that McCasland doesn't think Kyron Lindsey has made the commitment necessary to be on the team and play with this team. And that kind of stuff may not sound legit to some people, but if you look at the way Texas Tech has responded, the way they play hard, then it is very real, the culture that McCasland's trying to play. So that's the deal with Lindsey. Tech Freak wants to know, are Pop's legal troubles over? Yeah, from what I hear, it's ongoing in terms of the Title IX stuff, and the fact that he had received the lawsuit. I don't know where it's going to end up, but from what I've been told, it's still ongoing. Anonymous says, when does spring football practice begin and end? Spring football practice begins next week. The first media availability is Tuesday. I'm very excited. Going to be out at practice as well. Going to have notes. Going to have notes from the media availabilities, interviews with coaches and players, all kinds of content starting next week. And spring ball ends April 20th with the spring game in Midland this year due to the construction. Raider Fan 01 says, what are Coach Grant McCasland's chances of winning Coach of the Year? Well, he did not win Coach of the Year. Kelvin Sampson won Coach of the Year. And, I know a lot of people didn't like that, but, Houston is number one in the country. They won the Big 12 regular season. It's a very good team. McCasland, I think, probably was second or third. You had a couple other guys in the mix there, but, very good job by Grant McCasland this year. Just the fact that we're debating if he should be Coach of the Year is a great accomplishment. Point Man 1 wants to know, where will the Jones rank among Big 12 stadiums after the construction is complete? Yeah, right at the top. I really do. I think the Jones will be, if you look at what they're doing in that south end zone in terms of the recruiting lounge, kind of the club atmosphere where players are going to get to run through the tunnel or like a tunnel type or hallway type thing, where fans will be right by them, cheering them on, very much like the Cowboys at Jerry World. I think that's really cool. The fact that everything's going to be connected, via skywalk, the south end zone, connecting to the indoor, connecting to the football facility that's also being built. So their facilities are going to be tip-top in the Big 12 and amongst the very best in the country. It's going to be really amazing. I can't wait to see it when it's it's going to be done in stages, but I can't wait to see the south end zone when it's done. Texan 44 wants to know the NCAA football game Tech's ranking on offense, defense, and overall. Yeah, I think it's going to be in the low to mid 80s, kind of like how they have always been. I think it'll probably be 84 offense, 82 defense, and like 83 overall. I think that's where Texas Tech will probably be. But before I just move on, NCAA football is my all-time favorite game. I used to play that on a daily basis when I was younger. This is kind of like how I started my day. Have coffee and play NCAA football. That was like, at one point, that was like the only video game I played when I got into my 20s, because I was working and, trying to make something of myself, going to school and all that. But I would still play NCAA football, and it's very, the whole thing, going through the high school ranks, being a player, choosing where you went. Of course, I always went to Texas Tech, and building a dynasty and recruiting, all that. I loved it. Got to be pretty dang good at it as well, and I look forward. I think we're going to have a inside the Red Raiders League, or at least tournament, and battle it out this summer, and that'll all be on the Insider, and I'm excited about that. I love that game so much. I'm really glad it's coming back. Cajun Raider says, does Kidley bring home the gold again? Yeah, they did indeed. Now, this question was asked before the Nationals, and Kidley and Texas Tech won another national track championship. This one was the indoor, and it's very exciting. We had Wes Kitley on our radio show, The Rock and Pregame, on Rock 101.1 FM and here in Lubbock, and he was terrific. He really kind of blew me away. I posted it on the Insider as well, the interview, and some of the things he said about, again, overcoming adversity, like him losing his eye in a freak basketball accident when he was young, and having to only being allowed to play, like run track, not do anything remotely contact sports. How that was a big setback for him, but how he rebounded, and look, he's the GOAT of college track coaches. It's just really cool in his history, in terms of his granddad being a sheriff, a small town, and him, coming from that, and how his family are coaches in different sports across the state. That's really cool. He's a really cool dude. I can see why he's built Tech's track into what it is today. One of the top programs, national champs, and one of the top programs in the country, year in and year out. And I'm not surprised they won because that dude's a winner. Syntax Red Raider says, out of the 3 Red Raiders at the Combine, who will be drafted in what round? I really think Dadrian Taylor has done himself, since the season ended, he's done a lot to help himself. He doesn't have the size. He listed at like 5'10", 192 at the Combine, 5'10", 5'11", and that's pretty small by NFL standards, especially for a safety. But he ran the top time, a 40 time for a safety at 4.42. Which is really good. He had a really good broad jump. He was really good in the Senior Bowl as well. He stood out. So, I think he will get drafted probably. He'll probably be the only one of the 3 between him, Tyler Owens, and Miles Cole. But I would say 5th or 6th round for Rabbit. Now, Tyler Owens has all the measurables, and he also tested out good at the Combine, but he doesn't have a lot of production on tape from the season. He's injured all the time. The scouting takes I saw on him from NFL.com were spot on. And so his score is a little lower. I think if he got drafted, it'd be as a 7th round pick, but he probably will get on somewhere. He'll get an opportunity as a free agent because, his combination of size and speed is just amazing. And then the 3rd, Miles Cole, I don't think he'll be drafted, but he does have very long arms, has good measurables. Again, I think he'll probably get a free agent contract. And he'll get an opportunity because he's very much like Tyler Owens and he has the measurables. And he played well last year, don't get me wrong, but he didn't dominate, and that's what you got to do to get drafted in most cases. But great frame, long arms, so maybe he'll get a shot somewhere. And then I just want to say Austin McNamara, we had him on the Inside the on the Rockin' Pregame show on Friday, and he's been working out for a lot of teams. I don't think he's going to get drafted as a punter, but I do think he has a good shot at making a roster because, All-American punter, very good. And so it'll be interesting to see where McNamara ends up. There are several others. But to answer your question, I do think Rabbit will be the one drafted. I think it'll be a late round pick. But I do think he will be drafted and will have a legit shot to make, for his NFL dreams to come true. So, and I hope he does. He's a great dude. But, man, great questions from y'all. Appreciate your patience. I was a little late on posting this, got some spring break family stuff going on, but here it is. Thank you for watching, and until next time.